That is what we call the Samadhi, where you will understand the creative source of the entire phenomenon. So Pipalayana is making a discussion with a view to take you to the abode of the Supreme Creator. He is pointing out that the I, it remains the pivot, the unchanging and the unobliterable in you. The I is the pivot. I became wakeful. I woke up. I went to sleep. I had a dream. I woke up again. Again I am going to sleep. I slept. I dreamt and I am wakeful. With every state, wakefulness on the one hand and thereafter sleep on the other. Also thereafter dream in between. The waker, the sleeper and the dreamer are the same. There is no difference. In order to say that, you don't have to go to a spiritual university. You can say that yourself. It is your everyday experience. Not only your experience, the experience of everyone in this world, if he is a human and rational. So there is some pivot, the pivot of your personality, the I. Only when I is there, wakefulness will be there. Sleep can be there. Dream can also be there. Only when the I is there, your eyes will be activated to see. Ears will be activated to hear. And the rest of the organs also will be similarly activated to have their respective perceptions. So the I seems to be a pivot. Not only that, everything else changes, but the I does not change. You started saying I right from perhaps the 4th age. Right from the beginning, but the 4 years of memory we don't have. Right from the beginning you started saying I. And even when you are 85 or 90, you continue to say I am. I was. The one that was, the same is the one that am. And the same is going to be, will be tomorrow. So there is no difference at all. So it is unchanging and it cannot be obliterated. In sleep, all the wakeful impressions are gone. The world itself comes into a knot. But the I has not been obliterated. Waking up from the sleep, you say, I slept. I slept. Where were you? Was it your experience? Yes. It was I who slept. I am not reporting to you another sleep. I slept myself. So even in the sleep where the world is gone, the body is gone, the mind and intelligence and ego also are gone, the I does not seem to be going away at all. So it remains constant there. Now this is the source of the entire world and creation. Source of the entire world and creation. Pipalayana is describing the very source of world, the very source of the universe, the creation. Now how is it that he speaks about the very source? Can it not be that what he refers to itself is an effect and there can be a further cause? This is something I would like to know, a little bit of logic, good reasoning. You know, there is something called infinite regress or even regression. What does it mean? Y is born of X and X is born of something called pre-X and the pre-X is born of something pre-X. If you go on thinking in this manner, the effect, there is a cause. That cause itself is an effect of another cause. That is the effect of another cause. If you go on thinking that Karya is born of Karana, that Karana becomes a Karya for another Karana, that Karana will again have another Karana making it the Karya. Like that if you go on thinking, we will never be able to reach anywhere. This is not acceptable in logic or reason. So it's called infinite regress. There should necessarily be a cause which gives rise to the entire creation. But itself, it does not look for another cause. This causeless cause, as we say, this cannot be avoided at all. Now, in the case, I am waking. Wakefulness is caused by me and I am sensing it. The same I goes to sleep. And from the sleep, I sometimes dream and again wake up. So the I is causing all the three. The I itself is not caused by anything else because it is already there and I feel. I cannot go beyond the I. So here he is trying to tell you that the source of the creation is this. There is a defect in the infinite regression or infinite regress. That defect cannot be accepted. Just see what Dhruva says. Dhruva's story appears in the 4th skandha of Sreemad Bhaagavatam. The 5-year-old boy, he went on doing severe austerity, enhancing the severity all the more, month after month. And ultimately, very soon, Lord Mahavishnu appeared before him. His mind was fully focused on Lord Mahavishnu's brilliant form, and he was enraptured by the sight. Suddenly, that form disappeared for him. It was almost like a thunder for him. He opened his eyes and found Mahavishnu in front. Poor boy did not know what to do. When God arrives before you, what will you do? You will start praising Him, praising His glory. So this boy wanted to praise, but he could not. A very young boy, 5-year-old boy. So Mahavishnu took his conch and stroked him in his cheek. Conch is such a wonderful instrument. Whoever blows it, it will produce the best of sound. So, stroked by Mahavishnu, Dhruva started speaking very eloquently, melodiously, in beautiful poetry. And the first verse of praise completely conveys to you the message of the supreme message of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yondav pravishya mama vajamimam prasuptam sanjeevayatya akhila shakti dharaswadhamna anyamscha hastacharana shravanatvagadin pranan namo bhagavate purushaya tubhyam. Dhruva is praising Lord Mahavishnu as Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. I consider you to be Purusha. The word Purusha is an epithet of human being and all living beings, you can say. So God is praised here as a Purusha. The word Purusha is derived in Sanskrit in this manner. Purishete iti Purushaha. Whoever is lying and living in a city, he is called a Purusha. Our body is actually a city. Yondav pravishya mama vajamimam prasuptam. I was not able to speak. You stroked me with your conch. Suddenly I am able to bring forth my speech. So he says that Andav pravishya, entering my inside, mama vajamimam prasuptam sanjeevayati. You are activating my laden or latent speech. My speech has been lying coiled up in a dormant manner. That dormant speech is becoming vibrant and audible by virtue of your own activity, your own brilliance. So, entering my inside, prasuptam imam vacham sanjeevayati. My speech, which is almost sleeping dormant, you are activating it. How? Akhila shakti dharaha swadhamna. You are not using any gadget. Certainly not. Only by your presence as the indwelling spirit in me. That wonderful presence. What is that presence? Akhila Shakti Dharaha. It is an embodiment of all the power. It is an embodiment of all the powers conceivable by human mind. So you are containing in you all the possible powers. Akhila Shakti Dharaha. With all the powers, all that you are doing is, you are simply present in my body within. So by virtue of your presence, all these activations are taking place. What are the different types of activity we are performing? One is the latent speech is brought forth in an audible manner. Anyamscha hasta charana shravana tvagadin. Similarly, there are so many other organs also. What are they? Hasta, hand. By the hands we move and hold. Charana, by the feet, by the foot. We start standing, walking, sitting, etc. Shravana, by the ears we are hearing. Tvak, by the skin we are able to touch. And there are pranic forces also, propulsions also. Pranan. Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam. My dear Lord, you are the Supreme Purusha. who enters every body, every being in this world to activate the physical activity, the oral activity, the sensory activity, the mental, intellectual and the egocentric activities. All of them are propelled by you, impelled by you. And you do this only by virtue of your presence. You yourself are inactive and still. But all these organs become vibrantly active. In order to activate them, you don't undergo any activity. Similarly, there is a causeless cause from which the whole universe has sprung up. He goes on explaining, the source of everything will have to be different from all the things. This is a principle, a reasoning that I would like you to understand. What is that principle? How to explain it for you? See, the world consists of an ample variety. An ample variety. Follow me, mark my words. The world is full, infinitely plural, infinitely multiple. And in the multiple world, what can be the source? See, a human being can deliver a human being. A mosquito can deliver a mosquito. An elephant will give rise to a small elephant baby. This much we know. But can you think of a source, a womb, from which all beings are coming? If all the beings were to be born from a womb, that womb cannot be any one of these. It has to be different from all of them. What is the example by which you will understand? We are thinking of clean water which has no color. So it's a color-free water. In the color-free water, you dissolve any color you like. Put the white color, it will become white. Take colorless water and dissolve something bluish, it will become blue. All the colors will be reflected by water when it is dissolved in it, because it is colorless. Think of a colorless glass mirror. Any color you put in front, it will reflect it. Suppose the mirror was white in color, will it be able to reflect the white? No. So all the colors to be reflected, the source will have to be color-free. In the same manner, we have a tongue. The tongue itself is taste-free. That is why all the tastes are felt by the tongue. So I am giving you 3 examples. One is the color-free water, color-free glass, mirror, and also the taste-free tongue. So let us be very clear. The infinitely plural world would have been possible only when a source which is different from all this plurality. Can we find out the source of this world by traveling everywhere and finding out what exists where and what can be the source? We are upon the earth. Who knows where is a parallel earth anywhere else in the whole universe? And this earth itself has got its own aging factor. So it is impossible to travel in the whole universe and find out the respective sources of the different substances here. Some people say, the scientists say, the earth is a piece broken away from the sun. Okay, what is this sun? Maybe it's a piece broken away from another planet or heavenly body. Like that, where you will go? So it is not possible for us. If you go away to a long distance, you will die. The air pressure is so much, everything will be absolutely alright. We won't be able to live at all. So our life is very limited, our possibilities also are very limited. So it is impossible to find out the source of the world by virtue of a direct enquiry. The person who enquires must have been there before the world was born and after the world was born until now. Then only he will be able to say, this is the source, I have seen, this has been the process of creation. That is not possible also. Now, if the world enquiry directly is not possible, our intelligence is not satisfied. We have to inquire into and find out the source. Now, in this particular context, what I have to tell you is, Pipalayana points it out. What is it pointing out? Sthityudbhava pralaya hedura hedurasya. Sthiti udbhava pralaya heduhu. There is one source, heduhu. For what? Sthiti. For the existence and prevalence of this creation. Udbhava for the emergence and evolution, Pralaya for the destruction and dissolution, Hetuhu, the cause of all these three. Srishti, Sthiti, Samhara we say. The creation, preservation and dissolution. There is a cause for all these things. Ahetuhu asya itself is no effect. All the cause and effects have proceeded from that source. But itself it is not caused by anything. So it is aheturasya. Oh, such a thing is possible? Yes. How can we think of it? Can we access it? Yes. Yes. You may not be able to travel throughout the universe and arrive at the cause of it. But we have got intelligence, by virtue of which even an apratyaksha fact, a fact that cannot be directly sensed by the senses, we can still access it, understand it 100%. Just like the senses are effective in their horizon, our intelligence is effective in its horizon. The senses perceive and give us directly perceived data. On the basis of the direct information, we can evolve our own reasoning, our own inferential processes and arrive at very stable conclusions. So in man, the intelligence is as effective as the senses. Not only that, our life is completely based upon a conjunction of these two factors. Are you following me? My dear viewers, I am just speaking and I am going on, or are you with me? This is a question I always want to ask every one of you. Are you with me? Just think about it. So the intelligence has to be very active. And only with intelligence we can carry on. See, for example, every one of you say, I was born. I was born. Did you witness and experience your birth? You also say, I will die. Can you show me one person who has died in this world, for whom death is an experience? Similarly, show me one person for whom his own birth was a fact and an experience. You can never find such a person. You were born sometime. One day the mother told you, see, I am your mother. You are my son or daughter. This is your father. We are parents and you are the child. They started saying. Even in nursing homes, when delivery takes place, how does the mother know who is her child? The nurses will be there, doctors will be there. After the delivery, the child is taken away, given bath, and some mark is put, and then they are showing, here is your child. Does she really know the child that she is seeing is the same child that was in the womb? It's not possible. So inference is very, very important, is equally valid. So far as the source of the universe is concerned, creation is concerned, we cannot apply direct, that pratyaksha means of proof. Direct perception is not possible. So we are left with the inference. With the inference we can reach. It is in wakefulness that the world is seen. So the entire world is an effect of wakefulness. When you wake up, the world is born. So you may not be able to go and find out the source of the world. Are you marking my words? You will not be able to find the source of the whole world. But don't give up. Because the entire world comes to be present, is felt. Only when you wake up, wakefulness delivers the world. And this wakefulness and its source is within our body. Are you satisfied now? In as much as the world is an effect or an outcome of wakefulness, and wakefulness is sourced, originated, preserved, and also dissolved in you, you can certainly say, I can find the source of this world expression. I am speaking of the world which I see, I experience, I interact with. I am referring to the things which my eyes see, ears hear, nose smells, tongue tastes, and the skin touches. In all these sensations, the author is my own senses. My own senses. And the senses become active when I wake up. And waking up, it is not caused by anybody. I myself wake up. The world does nothing for me. I wake up and similarly I go to sleep. I don't need anybody's permission or assistance, either to sleep or to wake up. So the wake up originates in me. Waking up originates from me. And the same waking up goes into dissolution also in sleep. So the sleep also originates, the sleep also terminates, the dream also originates, the dream also terminates, and I am the author and the source of everything. I am the source of wakefulness, which is the source of the entire world perception. So when I am able to trace the source of wakefulness, am I not very sure in terms of inference that I am speaking about the source of the entire creation also? My dear viewers, will you be able to say this in your life? Otherwise, I will not allow your intelligence to remain restful. If your intelligence is human and you believe in reasoning, in rationality, this kind of an analysis is irresistible. You have to accept it. Accept it in full core. Stityudbhava pralaya hedura hedurasya. So there is a causeless cause from which Sthiti, Udbhava and Pralaya, Pipalayana says, all the three have sprung. Oh, there is a source for the prevalence of the world, the universe, for the emergence and dissolution. It is beyond my comprehension. Can I access it? Yes, he says it is not inaccessible. Why? Yat swapna jagara sushuptishu sat behishcha. It is the same source that is equally present in swapna jagara sushuptishu. It is the same that is present in your wakefulness, in your sleep, in your dream, as also outside. Whatever is the source of these three, is it not accessible? Who woke up? I woke up. Who slept? I slept. Who dreamt? I dreamt. So the entire wakefulness is your product. It is subsisting in you. Sleep also, dream also. So the source is clearly within your body. Is it distant? No. Is it different? No. Is it not accessible? Yes. It is everyday's experience for us. The same is the source. Yat swapna jagara sushuptishu sat vihishcha. While the wakefulness comes and goes, sleep also occurs and disappears. Dream also emerges and subsides. But the I, the sleeper, the waker and the dreamer, at no point of time he sinks into an oblivion. The three come and go, but the I does not come and go. Dehendriya suhridayani charanti yena. Deha, Indriya, Asu, Hridayani, Charandiyena. So, are you following the sequence? First of all, he speaks about the emergence, the prevalence and the dissolution of the universe. That is something very, very infinite in its magnitude. You may not be able to access it with your senses. Impossible. The world must have been evolved countless millennia ago. We cannot think of reaching or accessing that region, that time. But here, yes, swapna jagara sushuptishu sadbehishcha. That is clearly within your body. Swapna is within your body. Jagrat, wakefulness is within your body. Sushupti, that is also within your body. It is present there. Now, out of these three you will find swapna, we don't know how it is caused and when it will be terminated. Sleep is something where our mind, intelligence and ego all are getting dissolved. So we cannot penetrate into the sleep and understand it. You know, even for the medicinal science, sleep is absolutely ununderstandable. If they try to experiment into the sleeping man and wants to penetrate into him, he will wake up. So sleep is inaccessible for the medicinal objective sciences. It can only be approached, if at all, by our own consciousness, without any external gadget or objective experimentation.